So I watched something on Facebook the other day. What was it? It had like a montage of all these old 80s cartoons. And some of them I completely forgot about. That it's like, oh my gosh, that's right. It showed like all the intro, the theme song to all these 80s cartoons. It's like, oh my gosh, it was like a 2-minute long thing.
See, and when you were telling me about this the other day, I may have intertwined some old 70s cartoons in there.
Okay, well, it's from when we were both kids.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I watched 70s and 80s cartoons, but I might have intertwined some.
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember H&R Puff and stuff?
No, I've heard of it, but
I
I've never watched that
think that's a 70s
Yeah,
thing.
I never watched that one.
Oh, my God. When I watched it as a kid, it was cool. It held my attention. There were things going on.
Mm-hmm.
Now that I'm grown up, I'm going, wow, that person's on a trip.
See, that's what I heard about that show, that it was really trippy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But as a kid, it didn't seem that way.
Yeah, I've never seen it.
I mean, no wonder why so many kids our age are doing marijuana and LSD and everything. The cartoons were...
Well, and same thing with like the ones in the 80s. Scooby-Doo was my big one. You know, I mean, what were Shaggy and Scooby doing in the van all the time?
Why did they eat all the time?
And then they were always hungry.
I know.
You know, and they dressed like a hippie.
Uh-huh.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, what do you think they were doing?
I know. I know what they were doing.
He was sharing the brownies with the dog. 'Cause
right.
The dog couldn't smoke. Scooby snacks.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
See?
Right.
I thought the same thing once I got older. I was like, wait a minute. Whoever did this cartoon.
Yeah. And then Fred and Daphne were always sneaking off together. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but they were just into each other.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he wore the scarf. Swingers. See? The rabbit hole goes deep. Okay. Just saying.
That's true. He did wear a scarf, didn't he?
Uh-huh.
Or what is that called? An ascot.
An ascot.
Ascot. Oh.
Yeah.
I was pronouncing a Minnesota town there for a second.
Yeah. Ascot.
Well, I used to watch the Globetrotters.
Oh, yeah.
Had their own cartoon for a while. The Jackson 5 had their own cartoon.
Mm-hmm.
And that was kind of trippy.
And the Globetrotters had a crossover episode with Scooby-Doo.
Yep.
Here and there.
Do you remember, was it Hong Kong Phooey?
Yes.
I used to watch that all the time.
Mm-hmm. Hong Kong Phooey. and what was the Captain Caveman?
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Do you remember the, it was a Phantom? Funky Phantom.
Funky Phantom.
It was 4 hippie kids drove around with the ghost solving crimes. It was almost like Scooby-Doo.
Mm-mm.
In fact, there were a whole bunch of crime-solving whatnot. Like Dune Buggy, 2 hippie guys that drove around in a dune buggy solving crime.
And the dune buggy was kind of like alive, kind of.
It would talk.
Yeah, I remember that.
Like,
I kind of remember that one. Yeah.
Hey, Tink.
Yeah, I remember that one. And there was kind of a spin-off one where it was all motorcycles. Wasn't there a motorcycle one?
Yeah.
But the motorcycles were kind of alive. They had their personalities.
Yeah.
I don't remember what that one was called, though.
And there was another show, too, and it came out of a comic book that I used to read as a kid. It was all monsters that solved crime.
Okay.
They would ride around at night on motorcycles, and they would solve crimes, and they were all like the werewolf and the Dracula. And
oh, I don't remember that one.
I wish I knew the name of that one.
Huh.
But yeah, I watched some weird cartoons. I mean, that explains why I'm probably so into the paranormal and everything.
Mm-hmm.
And didn't need to do drugs so much. I already watched them. Watched other people do them.
The producers of these shows
all end up in the back of a van with 3 weirdos
and a dog
solving crime.
A dog eating Scooby snacks.
Yeah, I never got why he would eat the Scooby snacks too.
He would do anything for these Scooby snacks.
Not Scooby.
Huh?
Shaggy.
Shaggy
eats them too.
Because they weren't really Scooby snacks. They were drugs. They were addicts. See? Rabbit hole. See? I'm telling you.
Remember Laugh Olympics?
Laugh Olympics. Was that in
It was
70s?
like a collection of all these cartoons, and they would be on teams together.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay.
And they had captains and everything, and they'd have to compete in all these different Olympic events. And, yeah.
Okay.
There were some weird cartoons. I look at cartoons now and I think those are weird, but I don't know.
Not compared to back.
They've always been weird.
Yeah.
My son watches a show now about butts. Yeah. They battle butts, and they everything is about butts, and their best friend is a butt.
Must be a boy-centered cartoon. Because I don't think girls would ever watch anything like that. Has to be about boys. But I used to love, in the early 80s, I loved the Smurfs.
Once those started to come on, I think I was done.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I grew up in the 80s, so, but I loved
well, I did too, but I just never got into the Smurfs.
No, but I loved the Muppets. For some reason,
the Muppets were awesome.
loved the Muppets.
Yep.
I don't know why. I got into the Muppets, but I never liked Fraggle Rock.
No.
That show is
it's not the same thing.
Yeah, I drew the line. I don't know why.
Remember Land of the Lost? It wasn't really a cartoon, but it was on Saturdays.
Yeah, yeah.
They go back. They get shipped back to dinosaur times. And
yeah.
Yeah. I told you that sometimes I don't have the best luck with women. There was a woman that liked me that looked like a slee stack from that show. Yeah. And if you don't know what they are, we'll give you a second to look them up and scream.
Oh, you poor thing.
I know. Terrible luck with women. That could be a whole show.
Let's find Chris a date.
Yeah, really. No.
No slee stacks, please.
No date. No, don't find me a date.
Okay, we're getting off track again.
We are.
Okay.
But, yeah, you'll have to look up a slee stack. But I look at the cartoons now and I just think they're so bizarre. But then you go back and like I said, H&R Puff and stuff. Those people are on some serious trips.
Yeah. Oh, definitely.
Including the actors.
Yeah. My all-time favorite, though, it kind of spans from the 60s, 70s, 80s, is Looney Tunes.
Looney Tunes are the best.
Oh, yeah. They're good for any generation, it seems like.
And why is it there has to be people that say, oh, my gosh, kids are going to get the wrong idea from watching the Looney Tunes. Yeah. I'm going to jump off a cliff and throw an anvil in the air.
I'm going to use an umbrella to try to break my fall.
Exactly. I watched those for years, and I never once tried to paint an open tunnel on the side of a wall and run through it. And yeah. And or try and purchase dynamite online and strap it to my back with roller skates on
from Acme Company.
Right.
Yeah. No.
I never did that.
No.
So I don't know what those people what they're thinking.
They claimed it was so violent. And
I know, and it is.
It is technically because they're
pounding each other with hammers and dynamite.
They would get shot in the face so many times, and it would just be powder.
Right.
It would just be black powder in the face.
And all it would do is make your duck bill go to the back of your head. And you just had to straighten it out. But I was never fooled into thinking, oh, somebody shoots me in the face, I'll just move my face back. I wasn't that dumb.
Yeah. They didn't give kids enough credit. Yeah, they don't give kids enough credit for that. So
there you go. What's your favorite cartoon? Let us know and do it.
Comment right down below.
There we go. Oh, look. I have a giant finger now.
Oh, boy. Such a kid.